All right, okay. We're doing Windows for the recording here. So DFML. Okay. All right, let's go to the installation and let's try this and watch it fail miserably. Okay. Python 3 is not recognized.
Are you sharing the screen?
Oh, am I not sharing? God damn it, I forgot to share the screen, sorry. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. So, yeah, this is sort of a similar thing to what I encountered here. So, I think, yeah, we need to rework the Windows instructions here. So docs installation. And let me grab that. And docs examples integration. And I used your tabs, the tabs thing that you found. This group tab thing. Um, this is nice. So we can do a little like this, and we can do Windows. Okay. All right, we'll say, and I think for Windows, we're going to want to say that we should do a virtual environment. Okay, and we should probably do this, what's it called? The PowerShell PS. Or let's see, what does it look like when you open up command? Okay, yeah, it's sort of got a path there. All right. So we'll just say like C colon something. All right. All right, sorry, username. All right, okay. And yeah, let's try this in the command prompt too or I guess let me make sure that this is command because, who knows, some people will probably do that instead of PowerShell. So let's make a new one of those. All right, okay, I think we're not in PowerShell now. Yeah, okay, great. So, and now we'll do Python pip install. Oh, and this is that, but we'll do this. So dash e. All right, permission denied. Okay. So did you run into this error or did you not run into this error?
I did run into this error. It
Did
it says about upgrading pep.
Okay. Oh, it says about upgrading pip. Let's see. Python-m pip install u pip. That is exactly the command I just typed. Let's see. Let's try user. I'm not sure. Maybe that'll work. Who knows if that will actually give us any success here, but we'll find out. Da-da-da. Okay. Installed in scripts, which is not in path. Okay, that's fine. Let's try this. We should probably try this with user too. Or let's try this without user and see what happens. Okay, defaulting to user installation. That's good. Hey, Sudhanshu, how's it going? Okay, and we got a big fat error. Great, yeah, there's always something that doesn't understand. The user site directory is disabled. Okay, so did you end up with this too or no?
I actually didn't. Like this doesn't seem to me.
Okay, so I think what I might recommend here is that we, for Windows, install.
I faced the problem when I ran DFFML service install.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
So before that, everything went fine.
okay, so I'm thinking that
Are you in a
um,
virtual environment?
no, that's the thing is I'm thinking we might want to suggest that people be in a virtual environment for this.
Okay.
Is that what you did or no?
Yeah, I was in a virtual environment.
Okay, yeah. See, I think that seems to be the only way I can consistently get package installations to work in Windows, um, which is kind of annoying. So let's see. Let's have them install it within a virtual environment first. And we'll say,
We have this in the documentation, don't we? Like I think we have this.
well, we do.
Creating a
I think we do, but not in the main installation instructions.
Oh yeah, we have it in contributing.
Yeah. So let's see. And we probably want to make sure that it's right on Windows. So let's just try this guy because this should work to create a virtual environment.
Activating a virtual environment in Windows, I didn't know how to do that. I looked up in
Uh,
the docs for DFML.
so that
Like
is,
whenever I come back to Windows, script slash activate.
yeah. And I think it's activate.bat when we're in here. Yeah. So activate.bat. Um, oops. Okay. And then we should see.
You can just write activate. Like I don't think bat is necessary.
Oh, really? Okay. Let's just make sure that yes, okay, it goes off without a hitch. All right. Okay. Just one more time for my own sanity or lack thereof. Okay, great. Um, okay,
Do you
so
think like virtual environment causes an issue when installing stuff? Like I had never felt like that virtual environment was causing any troubles, but I
yeah.
asked Saksham about it and he said I never use virtual environment, might be that's the issue.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think the thing is that, you know, um, it depends what packages you're using. Some things, unless you create the virtual envi with that dash dash use or site system site packages or something, certain packages that can only be installed within this, like that can only be installed by apt-get and things won't be accessible within the virtual environment. So that creates some problems with like mostly if you have installed Python packages which have compiled C extensions which are distributed by your Linux distribution, then you can sometimes run into issues with virtual environments because of that.
But that's with Linux,
Um,
right?
yeah, but that's with Linux. And with
I
Windows, I mean, I don't do much on Windows, but this is the only way I've been able to get it to work on Windows is by using a virtual environment. So, um, yeah, I guess I'm not sure if that really answers the question, right? But I think that so far you and me both can only get it to work with a virtual environment. So I think um, it's two against one right now. If Saksham says it doesn't work, if he knows how to make it work without that, then we want to figure out. We'll ask him next time we talk to him, and we'll see if we can get that way working.
like during GSOC, I didn't use virtual environment myself, but now I cannot resist using it. Like I break things so often
Uh huh.
that
Yeah.
having a
Right.
virtual environment.
I agree. Yeah. Let's see. Windows. Make sure uh, you may want to first create a virtual environment to uh, so let's see. Yeah, we'll say on Windows, you may want to first create a virtual environment to avoid any permissions issues when installing DFFML or when running pip install. Okay, so and now we'll try that python-m pip install -e Well, we'll just try install with the dot right now since that's what we're supposed to be sort of the equivalent here. That's funny how it lowercases it. Doo-doo-doo. All right, well, we'll flip back over here for the time being. Okay, these guys, oh, I think there may have been an issue with single quotes in Windows, somebody told me, if I remember correctly, so we should probably update these guys. Um, yeah, I'm not sure if does Windows do black backslashes? Do you guys know? I think we can find out. Python-m pip install. Nope. Okay, Windows does not do backslashes. Let's find out. We're going to learn a lot about Windows within the next few minutes here. All right. So Windows equivalent of backslash of multi-line with backslash. Oh, wow. After trying almost every key on my keyboard. That's hilarious. No, PowerShell is caret. That's funny. All right, so let's see, caret install caret. All right, okay. Well, I guess we're gonna need the another one of these group tab things. All right, let's see. Windows. Okay. And then, oh yes, we'll just move this up here and do it with a caret. That's wonderful. All right, okay. Let's see. Okay, we've captured that. We've captured that. All right. Let's flip on over and see if it installed. Well, it's thinking hard about this. My CPU fan is really going all out. I wonder if the virus scanner is running. Probably. Okay. Well, we will wait for this and then we'll sort of, we'll come back to it. So let me just commit these changes here. So, and maybe we should actually say, oh, I think I got rid of the mention of the all command. We should probably move this around. Model plugins. So if you want to install all the machine learning model plugins and all the data sources and data flow operations, you can append all. Okay. Oh, and we should Windowsify these. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know about that. We will see if that actually comes through or not. All right, okay. Cool. I think that looks good. Now, now, yeah, the one thing though is now we really got to get, okay, so now Windows support, if I'm putting Windows in the main installation dock here, then we should really make sure that Windows support works before we do this release. All right. Windows create virtual UI. All right, cool. So this is still going. Let's flip over to the meeting minutes and just sort of recap what's going on here. Right. So Windows support, I had squashed bugs a few while ago, but there are now more bugs than there used to be. Issues with the FFmpeg service dev install command. I had to skip a bunch of packages. And so let's also make a note that this is probably because not all of those packages release compiled wheels for Windows, whereas they do for Linux. And we should also note that this will probably be also an issue. This may also be an issue with OS X or Mac OS, whatever the hell they're calling it nowadays. So yeah, we should probably make a note in the documentation. This is another good thing for the, are you freaking kidding me? Could not install a package due to an environment error. The tag present in the reparse buffer is invalid. I bet this is due to this stupid OneDrive crap. They made it, they say packages. God, I hate this stuff. They made everybody's stuff be on OneDrive. And they just did it. Python. All right, let's see. OneDrive. Okay, apparently I'm not allowed to change that. Sharing. All right, okay, I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I'll move the stuff outside of here and we'll try again. Okay. Oops, it's not Windows. All right, okay, sorry. Let's just go over here and let's say docs installation. And we'll say currently supports Python 3.7 and 3.8 on Linux. And then we can say Windows and OS and Mac OS support varies by which plugins you install. We do not currently have a list of what is supported and what is not supported on those OSs. All right, does that sound like a reasonable thing to say there, or should we sort of add anything else or take anything away from that statement?
I think that's fine.
Okay. Okay, command SAM docs installation. Um, only support.
Like when we run DFML service install, so did you just add that skip flag for that particular thing, or like
Uh,
uh, are we checking when it fails and then skips it altogether?
the skip
We were
stuff.
gonna implement that when we are
Yes,
running DFFML service install. So does it skip when it fails, or you have to manually add that
you
skip
have to
flag for
manually
it?
add the skip flag, mainly because you we don't want, yeah. So you have to manually add the skip flag. So it'll tell you which ones failed, and then you have to say which ones you want to skip.
Because
And that's
actually, what happened was I was setting it up on new system as well as my old system, and
hmm
for both of the systems, the Python version was one had 3.8.3, the other had 3.8.5, and
hmm
both of them had failed the install. And in the 8.3 version, I had to skip like 5 packages, and 8.5 version, I had to skip 2 packages only. So
Weird.
it's very inconsistent in Windows and what's happening. Like the pip version was the same, the Python version was
Yeah,
different. I
yeah.
don't. The pip version was 20.1 point. I don't remember the
That's
last
really
version.
weird. That's really weird. Okay, let's make a note of that. Okay, so when running DFFML service dev install with different 3.8.x versions with same pip version, uh, sometimes different sets of plugins fail to install. And this is where I think what we really need to do is we need to we probably need to enable it in the CI, right? So let me just write this down. We probably need to enable the base package and then the plugins in the CI for Windows and Mac OS. Um, uh, and then take note of which plugins fail to install within the CI and use that as our, uh, you know, ground truth list of what works and what doesn't. Because if it works in the CI, we can basically say, hey, it does work. You gotta mess with your system until it works. That's probably what we should do here to get this to get our list, because I can show you basically list or exclusions of which
Is it like a
plugins
general
work.
practice? I don't know much about this. Like, is it generally a practice to separate branches for different OSs?
Um, no. You usually wouldn't have a separate branch for every OS. I mean, right now we may have a separate branch. If there was like a ton of work to do where you're like the master branch doesn't yet support that OS, then you may create a separate branch, do that ton of work, and then merge it into master. But usually you try to get everything to the point where it's the same branch. Maintaining multiple branches is just really suboptimal in the long run, right? Because you have to synchronize changes between the two of them somehow. So usually you just try to beat the code base into the point where it works for both, right? But for with the CI jobs, right? We'll probably enable them in the matrix somehow, um, and then just go from there. I'm not exactly sure what. Not yeah. We'll figure it out. But basically, like this sort of we'll okay. So we'll turn it on, right? We'll turn it on for all of them, right? For example, let me go in here.
What I'll do is actually just install it in my system again, and both of the systems, and I'll just post it in an issue. So we
Okay,
should
that sounds good.
crack that.
Yeah, because what we want to do is we want to we want to basically go and we want to figure out what installs and what doesn't install, right? And then in here, this is the list of plugins, right? And right now, we know that Dalforpy doesn't support 3.8, so we don't add it unless it is, unless the Python version is 3.7. Um,
I guess TensorFlow Hub and Transform Vorpal Rabbit. These two cause issue in Windows too.
okay, so TensorFlow Hub and Vocal Rabbit don't
These were
work.
the ones I had to skip, and the
Okay,
other system had to skip a lot of
okay.
them. I don't know what
So
the issue is.
found that TensorFlow.
Posting it in an issue would be like helpful to you.
Yeah.
I'll
So,
open it as soon as I get a chance.
okay, great. Um, Yeah, because this stuff that gets typed in here gets lost usually unless I go back through and we go back through and we look at it, right? But we don't often go back through all of the meeting minutes, You got to remember that you need to go check the meeting minutes for something first. I did recently go through it because I saw I moved we talked about changing the headers for the tutorials or the examples and usage and tutorials. And so I did go through and I changed those and I moved the should I tutorial for the operations under the examples because it's sort of way longer and the rest of the stuff is under the examples for that. So and then the tutorials is now it's a little I think it's a little more makes sense of what the hell's going on here. But I think there was still a little bit more refactoring work to do on the documentation itself. But that's the only thing I've recently gone back and checked the meeting minutes for. So yeah, it's good to have issues. Um, okay, so and we would add these. So we will not add these to the list of core plugins for Windows within core plugins for Windows within dffml/plugins.py. And I'll link to that. Here. All right. So does that sort of capture what? Do we have anything else to say on that?
Yeah, I'll actually try it myself again, and I'll just open an issue.
Okay.
I guess that would be helpful. And
Yeah. Um,
whatever tests are failing, I'll discuss it with you again, like
okay.
on Twitter.
All right. So that sounds good. Okay. Yeah, because that would be cool. Let's see. Anything else you wanted to talk about, Yash?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, like I didn't do much further than this. I
Oh,
just ran the test and
that's
that's it.
fine. I just wanted to know if there was anything other than Windows support that you wanted to talk about. Okay, cool. So Sudhanshu, okay, so we wanted to talk about the removal of the accuracy method from model context, and maybe we will do that in the future. Maybe we do it now. And then, is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
No.
Okay. And then Himanshu will move that for whenever he comes um, next meeting.
So actually, like I have fixed the two models, the Spacey model and the TensorFlow one.
Okay, you fixed. Let's see. Let me get the notes going here.
And the Spacey model also have its own scorer, like evaluation methods. So I have created an issue for it, so
Okay.
we can flag it.
Okay, yeah, and so this is sort of what I was thinking is based off that. So let's open that stuff up here. Um, so wrap the score evaluation methods within accuracy plugins. Um, so
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So, and I think what we're seeing here and what we're seeing, and let me bring up the code for that I wanted to talk about here. So, I think we have a couple cases now where, so we implemented the accuracy method, right? We got rid of the accuracy method. We basically said, okay, it's implemented in the base class, right? And then we, okay, here we go. Yeah, we said it's implemented in the base class. Really, it didn't take me to the file. And so now we're relying on the base class to to call the scorer, right? Um,
Yes.
but the thing is, right, with this one that you just implemented, or the one that got modified here, where's this guy, right? So you needed it to take the model context, right? So now the scorer takes the model context, but first the model context took the scorer, basically, and starting to think, I think actually the reason why that was because we needed the features, right? Um, and so, but the thing is, right, if the scorer takes the model context, the scorer can grab the features from the model context, right? Because features should always be features, or we can implement some kind of method and within the model context that says give me the features that you care about, right? So I'm kind of leaning towards maybe we, and this is where it's good to have that high level accuracy method, but maybe we need to maybe it's not within phase 4 here, maybe it's afterwards, after we've moved everything around, but maybe we need to make it so that this is actually the signature of the score method, right? Of all of the score methods, um, and because in that case now the scorer has access to the model context, um, and it can just call, it can just call predict, right? Or it could reach in and it could say, oh, like you are a spacey model, I know you're going to have these certain things, right? Um,
Yes.
I think it seems like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just sort of what I'm observing from the code that the patterns that I'm seeing in the code that you've been writing.
Yes. Yes. So in
Okay.
this spacey, actually, like for this thing right here, so like the spacey has its own scorer method. So in the model,
Hmm.
in the model context, an object of that is created actually.
Ah,
So that's why, yes. So that's why I thought like maybe I can just call that function in the model context to actually
yeah, yeah.
evaluate.
Yeah. So yeah, I think so. So what do you think? You think we're on the same page here that we should probably this
Yes.
should be the signature? Okay.
Yes. Like yes. Maybe like we should make it high level.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Yes.
that's what I'm thinking, is I think that if we go through and you've been changing things, like you've been changing some test cases like this, and
Yes.
where we've done that, it may make sense to go through and actually just look at wherever you've changed test cases like this and have them call, the high level version of accuracy. And then that way, so if you go through and you look at all the places you did this type of thing where you added the score, this is really just, this code is sort of, it's old, right, from when we didn't have the high level accuracy function,
Yes.
right? And now we could go through, we could change it to the high level, and then we make the high level do the switch, um, on how it actually gets called. Does that sound like a good plan?
Yeah. But it will take more. It will take
Yeah,
some time.
it'll take a little bit more time, yeah,
Yeah.
but and maybe, and that's like, if things are working right now, we maybe make this phase 5 or something. Um, doesn't have to be right now, but I think we've learned, and this is the thing, right? You're learning a lot, I'm sure, as you go through
Yeah.
this big refactor, right?
Yes.
This is a serious job, right? Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, yeah, you're because this is the type of thing where you go in, right, and there's just so many different variables going on, that you learn as you go what really the way the code needs to flow best, right?
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, we've got so many models right now that it's like the good thing is see this, and there's an upside and a downside, right? The upside, or so the downside is, you end up with now you have to go back and do more stuff, right? Well, the upside is that if we didn't have all these models, we'd be finding this out, maybe 6 months from now when we did this, and now we've
Yeah.
got all these models and even more code that
Yes.
relies on it, right?
Yes.
So. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I was talking to somebody about this accuracy scoring stuff and how this will be sort of a demarcator of the beta release, I think. And so I'm really excited to see this. Um, let's see. Cool. Is there anything else? Let me make sure that we write this down here. And then is there anything
So,
else you wanted to talk about related to this? I mean, I think
uh,
you're,
yes. So, like, I will have to like create an accuracy method in the high level, and
well,
then make the call to the high level, right?
so I would say, okay,
In
so
in this phase or like in the next phase, like.
Okay, and let's go look at the issue right now. Let's update the issue, and then we can be really make sure that
Yes, in the
everything is.
issues like we have these phases.
Yeah. So
Uh,
okay, okay. So let's see.
yeah, we are on phase 4 right now.
Okay, yeah. So we can go through. Did we do all these?
Yes, above ones they're all done.
Okay, great. Um. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and then yeah. So this makes good sense as like a phase 5. Before we get to things like the HTTP service. And so let's see, I haven't looked at the actual output of the test recently. Are things starting to pass again? Like, did they go from failing to now passing again, or are we seeing more issues in the CI here? Let's
So
check
in
it
the
out.
CI, like the tests are passing actually.
Oh, great. All right.
Yes.
Hey, that means
So
the plan is working.
yes,
So let's see. Yeah. Okay. So TensorFlow. Yeah, we got Scapy, XGBoost.
yes,
Nice.
most of
Nice.
the tests are passing.
Okay. Great. Um, so let's see. And then model scikit. I feel like we talked about this. Did we talk about what this was
Yes,
about?
like there was clustering model issue.
Oh, yes, the clustering issue.
We have to
Oh,
like do something.
I think you remember the thing that you said, where you said if you change the feature name? I think that's
Yes.
related to the same issue that this guy is seeing. I don't know if you've looked at this, but I looked at it and he went and he changed. So basically, the issue that he's trying to fix is that the um, the classification, or sorry, the scikit models, when they do a prediction, they sort of just leave it as like a float or an int or whatever comes out of scikit. But we've got the prediction feature, and it tells us what kind of what kind of data type it should be. So sometimes we're trying to predict a float, but scikit's giving us an int, or vice versa. Sorry, we're trying to predict an int, and scikit's giving us a float, so we need to cast it to an int. Like the user's asking us to cast it to an int, but we're not doing that. And so what he did here is he's in progress trying to do that. But what he found is that basically he's ending up with a problem, and I believe it is with the clustering ones too, where um, where it ends up comparing a string. It's looking for a string within this list of ints. So that tells us something about the data types is wrong. And when I went in there and I looked at it and I looked at the test gate data, I also noticed the thing what you were talking about, where if you flip the feature name and stuff, like something changes when you flip those feature names, and I haven't figured it
Yes.
out yet either. But yeah, that is there's I think that it may be something with the way that the test case is written. Um, I'm sure the test case is right now. I think well, okay, I'm not sure that the test case is right now. I think is where this boils down to. And it would be good if we could talk to Himanshu about this because he wrote the test case. And we could all spend more time on it, or we could we could see if he could answer our question, right? Um,
Yes.
so let's see. Um, let's see. Change. So that's yeah, and we'll try to. I tried to ping him on an issue that I opened today, and I don't know if he hasn't gotten back. So let's make a note in here. Let me just say. So, and I'm gonna update this. So, updated phase 5 to involve to be changing the signature of the or to be the removal of the accuracy method within model and the changing of the signature of the score method within accuracy score. Okay. Okay. Sorry, let me just sort of get organized here. Okay, so, and then we also talked about, so there is an issue with scikit, or yeah, scikit clustering models. It might be related to the issue that is being faced in. And the other thing is, if Himanshu comes back and tells us what's going on, that's great. If not, um, who knows? Maybe this guy will fix, will figure it out when he fixes this pull request. So we'll see. And if no one
Yes.
figures it out, then we'll just take a look at it together in the next meeting. So
Yes.
related to the issue that is being faced here. Um, so let's see. Um, we will see if PR8 64 fixes the issue, as well as talk to Himanshu to see if he can help us figure out what's going on there. Okay, and let me just add a little thing here to remind me to message him. Okay, and then let's update phase 5. So where did phase 5 go? Okay, so change, remove accuracy method from model and change. Okay. Update. So update accuracy score dot score signature. So we need to remove, or we need to remove. Oh, let's first change all of the score functions within all the accuracy scores so that their signature is as follows. Score and then self MCTX. So the other thing was that you did model context, which is good. That's probably more descriptive, but sort of everywhere else we've been doing this shorthand with the sort of first letter of whatever it is, and then CTX. So I think it's probably best that we just keep that. unless that's not clear. Is that, I mean, I know this may not be clear. This is a good thing there where it's clear. I thought it was clear. It may not be clear. Do you guys find this shorthand MCTX, SCTX, OCTX type of thing to be clear enough or not clear enough?
I think it is clear.
Yes.
Yeah. Because like we have the data type of it right next to it.
Yeah, that's true. We do have the type hinting. So
Yes, type hinting.
yes, do you find it to be clear enough, or do you think we need to write out the full model context? You're on mute, Yesh. All right. Well, we'll assume that Yash thinks the same thing. Just so we're all three of us here.
John, I'm sorry. Can you ask it again?
Oh, no worries.
Actually, my earphones got disconnected and I didn't
Okay.
notice that.
Yeah, no worries. So basically, we're talking about this this method signature here, and so so we can type out we can say model context or model CTX, or we can say MCTX.
I remember MCT as well. Like I that's what you have written everywhere in the
Okay.
test, right?
So
SCTX and MT.
yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to figure out is, do you think that it's clear enough to say MCTX, or would it be better if we write out the full model context?
It's fine with MCTX.
Okay, fine with MCTX. All right, so let's stick with MCTX. Just wanted to, it's good to raise things for discussion, just, in case, and then this is sources, so sources, context. Okay. And then we need to,
It will also take the accuracy
uh,
score.
well, so this is the score method, right? So we need to change all the score methods within all the accuracy scores so that their signature is like this, right? Because this is the score method within the accuracy score.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we need to remove the accuracy method from all of the model contexts. And finally,
So it's yes.
yeah, sorry, go
So
for it.
from the model, yes. So from the model context, it's already removed. So we have to just delete from the base model context.
Okay.
And
So there should only be the one in the base model context. I just thought I'd seen one somewhere else, so that's why I'd said that.
okay.
But I'm not sure on that. So let's see. I just want to make sure. Just wanted to word it like that, just in case. We had added another one. Let's see, diff accuracy. Okay, so yeah, there's this one. Okay, we did the sources with features thing. Oh, and if we do this, let's see. No, we're still calling predict. Okay, yeah, I guess we still want to maybe. Okay, what is that accuracy? I think diff accuracy. Okay, yeah, so we added one here too.
Yes,
So we'll want
to override the base.
Yeah.
Base
Okay.
model context. Okay. So
So text classifier. Yeah, so let's say base model and text classifier. That's why I wrote that, because I want to make sure we got that. So should be one in the base model context. There should be another to remove base model context, and there should be another to remove in text classifier. Okay, so now we need to modify all of the tests that don't use the high level accuracy function to now use that function. So anywhere we were doing And then let me just sort of link to it. The double context entry type of thing. We want to replace that with the usage of the new high-level API. Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Where'd you go? Async with, okay, here we go. Oh, and we may have a minimal amount of places for this, but I just want to make sure that we're documenting it all. Okay, so anywhere where we're doing the double context entry from pre-high level accuracy function days, or from when we didn't have the high level function, for example, here. We want to now use the high level accuracy function. All right, and then lastly, modify the high level accuracy function and the no async functions so that they call the score method appropriately. All right, and then so I think this should get us to where we need to be. Do we see any problems with this plan?
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe right. Yeah, okay. Maybe not at the moment, but we can always go over it later. So let me just link to this, and we can always realize that we need to change things later. So yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure we write it out as detailed as possible. So. All right. Okay, so let me just make sure we got everything here. So we talked about the accuracy scores for spaCy, right? And I think this will sort of solve that problem too, right? Because now you have access to the model context, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you see any issues with that at all, or?
Like for the spaCy model, we will have to like create the separate scorer plugin.
Separate scorer plugin. Yeah, separate scorer plugin, but the separate scorer plugin will know how to interact with that model context, right?
Yes.
And I think that's also where this is powerful, is the fact that we can now what we can do is we can say, okay, if the accuracy score receives a model context that doesn't have these certain properties, right, or does not derive from spaCy model context or something like that, then we can just say, hey, I don't work on this, right, instead of the model have to saying I don't work with this score. I think that makes more sense. So I think you've found a good way of doing this. Yeah, anything else then?
No.
Okay, cool, sweet. All right. How's everything else going for you? How's school and stuff?
Yeah, it's going great.
Yeah. Are you
Online class.
what?
Online classes are actually going on.
That's good. That's good. What kind of
Yeah.
classes do you have?
Yeah, I have like digital signal,
Oh,
mobile
that's right.
communication and computing.
You're a computer engineer, right?
Yes.
Yes, me too. Yeah. There's not as many of us. Yeah. Yep. I like the computer engineering. Do you have any sort of at-home circuit projects you're doing or anything?
No,
No,
not right now, not at the moment.
not at the moment. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, that could be cool. I had a friend of mine, he's also doing computer engineering. He recently ordered this sort of like robot car that he was trying to play around with, and it didn't go as planned. Basically, the thing will only turn left. He can't even get it to go straight, so it just turns left in circles forever. But yeah, electronics. As soon as you get down to stuff that's not software, it just is weird. It's all these really weird edge cases of things, like even
Yeah.
more so than usual, right?
Mm,
Yeah, it's fun though. All right.
yep.
Well, have a good one. Let me know if you need anything, and I'll talk to you next week then.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thanks, Sudhanshu. Have a good one. Bye.
Yeah.